Hi guys, welcome to our preview of Melbourne races, the most controversial preview in Australia apparently.
Yeah, no, we caused a bit of a stir last week.
We did.
I'll put my hand up, it was my fault. I chose my words carelessly. I was trying to express that in the lead up to that race last week, I had a bit of trouble assessing Mourinho, and look, with the current environment that we're in,
Yep.
it's hard to just pull the wrong rein, and I pulled the wrong rein. It upset Peter Gallagher. Look, but in the end, all's well. I've spoke to Peter. It's all good. It's just that, to be honest, it's a stable that's never really given me any trouble. So they're not a stable that I think have any issues at all. And I wish Peter luck when he comes back. So
yeah,
that's enough about that. Let's just
enough of that. And we got a little win out of Mourinho anyway. So
yeah,
he was good to us. We're happy.
Yeah, after I spoke to Peter, I was a lot clearer on what to expect from the horse. So that I really appreciate him taking the time to talk to me. And in the future, if I'm ever not sure about one of his runners, I've got his number and we'll be calling him.
Very good. Something good's come out of it, which is good to hear.
Definitely. And for all those punters out there that supported us online, all that sort of stuff, look,
Yeah.
I'm not the sensitive type, but very much appreciated.
Yeah, so. The team tracky hashtag was trending, and we've sort of got a half tracky, and I don't know what I'm doing, but we're all right.
I would have squared the tag proudly, Matt. I'd say let's just go with it, whatever.
Let's run with it.
I don't think anyone's watching here to get fashion advice or tips. So.
Exactly, and then in the wrong spot. All right, and on Saturday we've got the Moonee Valley, and you're describing it as a bit of a crossover meeting.
Yeah, mate. Now we've got the hangover from the off-season form.
Yep.
A few races there that is full of pretty miserable form.
Yep.
There's going to be a winner of those races, and then we've got a few races there where we've got some fresh horses on the scene that, in particular in the shorter races, will probably be fairly dominant, and there'll be some form out of this meeting that will mean something in the month ahead. Okay,
and track and weather. What are you thinking?
Yeah, well, Moonee Valley's had its problems recently,
and rail as well.
It's had trouble drying out. They're still posting it as a S6.
Okay.
Which, given the recent weather, seems a bit surprising, but given the recent performance of that track, it's not that surprising. So I think probably race a 5, possibly a 4.
Okay. Yeah.
The 4 metre rail, the history says that it's not cut and dried, but the most likely outcome is that the on-pacers have a slight advantage.
A slight advantage.
Yeah, a slight advantage. So
okay.
It's not. Yeah. It's a lot of tempo-related stuff, and if they go really hard up front, you could imagine horses getting out wide and doing something.
Yep.
I don't think it'll be impossible like it is on the 7 metre rail. So.
Okay. Well, look, for those that were watching us last week, you would have got a few little tips into winners, but look, your set and the Probit Alive set that you control had a great week, so that's we're looking to build on that again, aren't we?
Yeah, it was a good solid week last week. I mean, they tended to be in the market, so it was nothing sort of...
No, you had to sort of make a choice, A or B, and you chose the right way.
Yeah, no, I think the key to our set winning last week was finding the right favourites to oppose. So the right favourites to get better round last week were particularly Iggy McCool and Magnus Slipper.
Yep.
And particularly Magnus Slipper, she was a very strange price to my way of thinking. And even though I fell into it, was at least not a huge bet with Raposo. He was he looked like a sucker bet, and I was a sucker. So,
look, at least you know it, and you can move on and be better. Okay, well let's we've got a special offer for Probit Alive, but we'll talk about that later. Race 1, 1200 metres, 3-year-old fillies here. We've got Strike'em at 340, 380 just one moment. Sebring Sally and Grey Street on the next 2 lines.
Yeah, there's a string of 3-year-old fillies form in Melbourne at the moment that's pretty strong, but none of it appears here. So we've got a pretty lacklustre looking affair where this race it's got no city form. So one of these provincial improvers could do something here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the market find one and single it out. But on what's exposed, Strike'em's got the best credentials, but she looks a bit weak.
Yeah, like I can see a run to Thurlow here, and Thurlow eventually came to Melbourne and well beaten a couple of times, I think. So
yeah, I think probably the better run is the one. Is it Pride of Brooklyn, Prince of Brooklyn or something?
Yep.
And that was 1,200 metres, and she started pretty hard in the market.
Yeah, she did.
And she only got tired late, and that's probably good enough form to on an exposed form. It's good enough to win this race. So
yeah, interesting horse. I think it's the 9, which is out of Ballet, same mare to Ballet Swede and another couple of city winners. So I'll be interested to see how it turns up.
Yeah,
might need some distance.
Yeah, it looks to me like a runner that's going to need, that's
high sharp,
further down the track, but. Nothing had surprised me in this race. And she's not a runner I considered, but I see where you're coming from. She's definitely,
yeah, we'll see.
Down the track top horse.
I think so. Race number 2 is over the mile. Strong Hand and Shizozo. I can't pronounce that one. Shizozo. They had the market. Also does he, a horse that you it was favourite last start, and you just said it was just a runner, and you sort of said it would be around 4th or 5th. I think it's finished there, so well done.
Yeah, it's the same again tomorrow. He's a good, consistent horse, but at Saturday grade, he's probably going to, until he can improve, he's going to find 1 or 2 better. So he'll be around the money again, but he needs to find a couple of lengths to win, even though this is a pretty hollow-looking race.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the obvious horse here that has got the credentials to be dominant is Strong Hand.
Yep.
So he's, I think he's still in his first prep. So most other trainers you'd be worried, but it's Darren Weir, so you don't have to worry. They just keep going, and he's coming off strong provincial wins, sort of form's held up. He's just he's the only horse in this race that could just beat them pointlessly. So. Okay.
It's always nice having a horse on your side that has that, I suppose, the potential to have a couple of lengths on the field.
Oh, that's what we're looking for. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your only hope as a punter, really.
Yep.
The other interesting runner here is Firehouse Rock. He ran in that strange race first up and didn't do much, but he gets his blinkers back on here, which is the key issue for him. He's a bit of a suspect horse, but he's got ability and he needs blinkers desperately, so I think he'll improve sharply.
Okay.
Not interested in the Adelaide form. It could be alright, but I can't get any substance into it at all. That's Shizozo.
Okay. Alright, well, we don't want to be mentioning that horse's name again. Leave that to the caller. Race 3, up to 2,040 metres. We've got $3.80 for Albinetti. We've got $4.50 Try 4. He's a bit of been all over the shop. Shenzhou Steed and Prism.
Yeah, it looks like a race where the bookies will be happy to lay every runner.
Yeah, it was that funny Lake Sententia race. Yeah. Most of the form there, I've noticed. Which you sort of mentioned on the preview show, didn't you? Yeah,
I did. I did find out. Look, this is a tied-looking group of horses to me.
Yeah.
So you're sort of searching a bit. On my first run through this race, I think, well, I won't be betting in this race, but I found something that I think represents some value. Thames Velour is a 4-year-old.
Okay.
Who was taken forever to put it together.
Yep.
But he outstayed a pretty decent horse at Sandown.
Okay. Yep.
And he's only really got to hold that form to be right in the finish here, and he's double figure odds. So
okay, something there for the punters.
We can have something small on him. Shenzhou Steed's finally refound his form again, and so I suppose he's there to run. He's going to get a good run again, and hard to trust, I suppose, because he was so long out of the winner's circle. But he's off a win, so let's say he can run a race again.
Yeah.
Albinetti's the favourite. She looks well spruiked. Looks like the media types are going to love her. She's got the blinkers going on first time. The problem with her is she's only won 4 races, and they've all been at like Gawler, Narracourt.
Yeah.
Just not even really provincial. They're out wide.
Yeah.
And her peak runs have been when she's been getting beaten. So she's run well.
Yeah, exactly.
In races when she's got beaten 2 lengths. So they're not the sort of horses I want to be backing as favourite. So
Yeah.
I'm giving. She's got a chance in this race.
Yeah.
But she can go around against me.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, yeah, exactly. You can see beaten 1.2 by Grizz Caro, 3 lengths, big memory. But I suppose if punters rely on that and you don't look for what happened, finish behind her, you can get into a bit of trouble.
Well, the problem is she hasn't got big memory and Greco to chase here. She might just be a horse that likes chasing other horses.
Yep.
So, yeah, Try 4's another one of those Darren Weir horses that he got as a tried horse and has improved, but I couldn't find much substance in that Adelaide stuff really.
Yep.
And Digitalism went missing last start, and he's got questions to answer now. He's probably going to have trouble getting himself back. So it's a pretty miserable race, and I'm sort of clutching a bit, but anyway, hopefully Thames for Law can do something for us at double figure odds.
Okay, sounds good. Let's have a look at the 4th. We've got Taunteen as a $3 favourite from Precious Gem, who's resuming. $6 for Duress, and a horse that was good to us at times was Pilly's Wish, and it's coming back.
Yep, this is one of those really good opportunities, I think, where you have a horse that so when we did the preview for the August 1 meeting, Taunteen was an even money favourite.
That's right.
By the time they jumped, she didn't have a price. They were trying to lay her at $6, and it was just on Betfair anyway. It was crazy, and she ran really well.
She did. The problem we had was it was 1,200 metres first up, and her form was a bit over shorter anyway, wasn't it?
All of her dominant form was against mares.
Yeah.
Right. So she was running into males there, and in Valiant Warrior, one that had some form.
Yeah.
And Mighty likes a handy horse, and she was also first up at 1,200 metres, which is a stretch for her. So here she is, second up at 1,200 metres, back against the mares.
Yep.
She gets complete control of the speed. She might get a track that really helps her.
Yeah.
Gee, she looks a nice bet to me.
Okay, very good.
Yep, she's on top. Out of this group of mares, the only one I could see, well, the main one I can see that could come out of the pack and do something here is Duress, who is just absolutely flying. She's a 6-year-old mare, and she's just in a rich vein of form. So, you know, if Taunteen does happen to paddle late, Duress would be dangerous.
Pick up the pieces,
Written will probably run a place. Written will run a decent race. I don't think she can beat Taunteen.
Okay. Right, that's a good little push. Before we do the 5th, we've got a special offer for Probit Alive this week. It's John Walter has joined the team. Darren is going to just look after Melbourne from now on, which we're all excited about. But also, John Walter is going to be doing Sydney. So he's been around for a long time, got a very impressive CV, worked with Gelco, a couple of other bookies, and he's been a pro punter on his own for quite a while now, about 7 or 8 years he's ran his website. But any product that you buy this week on the One to Follow website worth $20 or more, you'll get a free look at Probit Alive this week. That's a pretty good deal.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah, they're worth $99 for a week normally of Probit Alive, and that'll include Darren's interim set, Darren's updated set on Saturday. Same with John's sets for where are we racing at? Rose Hill? No, at Randwick. Randwick, the 6-metre rail. You get both that and also your access to the chat room on the day, which has the mounting yard, has money movers. So
if you spend $20 on Mark Lambourne's product, mounting yard mail, Fletcher's files,
anything like
any of those, you can get into the Probit Alive chat room and get both mine and John's set free of charge. That's a pretty good deal.
It's a very good saving. So this week, if you haven't tried Probit Alive, you've got no excuse to buy one of those products and give it a go and just see if you like it. Yeah,
and John in his first effort last week, he found Dylan's Rojo pretty strong.
Yeah.
He refused to give a tip in the last race, which was very sensible when you had 6 horses finishing within a neck.
Yep, good judge.
He liked Countryman early, but said it's got into under its odds, and he was right.
Yep.
He was right around the money all day. He did a particularly good job.
That's the beauty about having you in the room too, because you're still doing your Sydney form. So you also lined up on Dylan's Rojo, and you told us. So for those that got the set, you might have had a bit more of a bet if you're in the chat room. Yep.
And the track just after the first race, it just looked like Dylan's Rojo was going to be hard to get around. $9
was freely available, so good little deal this week. Race number 5 at Moonee Valley this time. Now, Sadaj is a horse that we were was right in the market last start. They had a scratch. They scratched it for this. What are we thinking?
Well, I was tipping her in that race. That was a harder race than this.
It certainly looks like it.
But that last race, I liked that she was drawn wide and was going to get up on pace.
Yeah.
In a really sort of dominant spot. This time she's sort of drawn to have horses around her. So on talent, she'll be very hard to beat. Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not sure. Like, she could be heavily backed here and just be too good for him.
Okay.
And she could also be a bit sort of soft and you know. Anyway, I think she'll run well, and I've got a top pick. So
yep.
She's only had 4 runs. They're all good. The trials are good. There's nothing here to suggest she's anything other than a horse with a lot of wins in front of her. So.
Okay. And from the map point of view, suppose some of her forms over the mile. So how do you think she could go over 1200?
She's a non-pacer.
Yep.
And
okay.
she's
well, that's good.
letting her jump out, so she'll be on pace. But
that's not an issue.
There's not an obvious leader here.
Okay.
So, like all of Solsay, Sadaj, Just for Starters, Valiant Warrior, and Mighty Loke will push forward. So.
Okay.
With Valiant Warrior and Mighty Loke drawn wider, so they'll probably have to push on to the front.
Yep.
Which means she ends up 1-1, which is perfect, and it could just work out beautifully, and she'll just bolt in. But it might that can all go pear-shaped too. You know, there's always, you know, in races like this where there's not an obvious leader, and the jockeys get all of it. You know,
all the connections, the planning things, and it just all once the gates open and all the madness just ensues, doesn't it?
Yeah. Our Valiant Warriors put 2 good runs together in Melbourne, and he's rock solid here. He'll run well again. It's not. He found a race to win last start. He had a perfect map.
Yep.
He was chasing Tortine, who was first up. She's a man. He just got the job done. So he'll run well again, but he's not. He's not. I mean,
he was our best bet of the week 2 starts ago, last start, but he was not seeming as though this week though, is he?
Yeah, he was our best bet there because that was his race.
Yeah.
And this time he's got so there he's chasing Tortine, who's a soft leader first up.
Yep.
This time he's got Sadaj, who looks to have a lot more substance. Right, so I would think that you have to price Sadaj shorter than Valiant Warrior.
Yep.
Clearly. Now the horse that surprises me here market-wise is Mighty Like. He's a ripper. Like early in his prep, he ran a terrific race first up. He goes better second up, and he's $15. So
yeah.
He has to go around a winner for me.
Okay. All right. I think that's a good little heads up there.
Let's hope.
Let's see what. Well, we can throw to Warren from the mounting yard. He might give us a nice little push there about how Sadaj is going to look.
Absolutely. So if you're in Probit Alive, we'll get the information direct from Warren.
Yep.
It'll be critical. Like, really. Like if she's ripped and ready to go, she'll start 6-4 and she'll bolt in.
Yep, exactly.
Right,
so look, come through us or come through. Well, yeah, you grab the mounting yard mail from Warren and you'll get access to the Probit Alive.
Get mounting yard mail. Get Mark Lambourne's stuff. I've been a customer of Mark Lambourne's for many years. Mark's product is full of little intricacies.
Yes.
That never cease to surprise. Mark is different to most of the regular price assessors. He has a different approach that often throws up a counterpoint. And for those punters out there that do get Mark stuff, for someone that take it from someone who's been getting it for a long time, the number one thing that I look out for, the thing that gets me most excited, which only happens every now and again, like every couple of weeks or something, when he finds a horse out of the market, okay, but he marks it short.
Yeah.
There's a very good reason for it, and they invariably run well. And over the years, some of the biggest results I've had have come in exactly that. I've backed winners at 50s, and Mark's marked them $5.
Yeah.
So
I've seen that plenty of times.
Sometimes you just wonder what it is that he saw that allowed him to mark that horse that short.
Yeah.
But then after the race, you go, oh well, he was right.
Exactly. He's a thinking man's product, isn't it?
It is.
It's a real little gem in our arsenal. So yeah, grab Marks as well for both the Metro or the Provincial meeting in Sydney. Race 6 at Moonee Valley. Yeah, look, it's a return of a horse I know a bit of, Odyssey Moon.
3-year-old colt's here.
Well, I don't know her then. El Greco 460, $5 for Odyssey Moon, and Brycey Hayes, who's also a mate of mine, Boston Light he's got here. Boston Light.
Well, Matt, you might know that hold the coup to this race with your connections here. Look,
certainly haven't taken a chance with him at $7.
Yeah, well, look, as we've been discussing, the 3-year-old colt form, or what was the late season 2-year-old colt form in Melbourne's been as hollow as you'd like. They're real. El Greco's been the best of them, and he's here, but they haven't got to what, you know, in Vince Arcadi language, benchmark. You know, so it's form that's vulnerable.
We were sort of El Greco. I remember at the end of his last prep, we were just going, "Geez, I've got a bit out of him here. When's it going to be enough?" And I don't. Sometimes I worry about them resuming first up off a spell after one of those preps.
Yeah, well, he's only had 42 days, so it's really a freshen up.
Yeah, well, exactly.
And he's still in his first prep. It looks, you know, it's a good training effort from Peter Moonee if he gets him to.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to go in because he's got the best of the Melbourne 3-year-old colt form at the moment. Like that's, you know, apart from anything older.
Yep.
But he's easy to sort of feel a bit, you know, he's 42 days between runs and he's in his first prep, so.
Yeah.
So you're looking for something here. You'd love to see something coming down from Sydney with the Japanisme form.
Yeah.
Like just,
sure.
You know, this is what's the prize money here?
We've got it's 120,000, 72 for first.
It's not like it's a maiden or something. I mean, honestly, there's so many horses in Sydney that could be coming down just to win this race. So the one that's come down is Odyssey Moon. So Odyssey Moon's a horse I've always had trouble getting. He's always felt to me like a horse that's just a length or two off them at sort of Saturday grade, but that might be good enough to win this. So he sort of becomes top pick by default for me.
Okay.
And if he's improved since the autumn, like he was pretty busy in the autumn, he had 6 runs I think, which is a lot for a 2-year-old. But if he's improved, he's got to be top pick. So I'm sort of having trouble getting confident, but I feel like I should be confident because he's got the right form to just beat these, you know. Yeah,
and look, we had a look at Boston Light's jump outs, and look, the first one was fine. It was about 700 metres or 800 metres, and the second one was okay, just eased right down. So we're not getting much of a push there. Yeah,
no, he showed a bit of dash in that first one, and then yesterday's song got over him late, which is fair enough. But at the time, you know, it just sort of says that he's not hopeless.
Yeah, exactly. He couldn't possibly price it $7, surely.
Yeah.
Just by lack of opposition, though.
Yeah, I think I've marked him a 10-to-1 chance, which I think I said to use the default position.
I think minimum.
There is a roughie here I could spec. So this is what I think of this race. This horse is coming off a Cranbourne debut where the format of the race has been hopeless, but it was a frantically run race. I'm talking about Well Sprung's the horse. All the other on-paces disappeared, and he did a remarkable job to stick on. So at 40-to-1, he's got a hope, I think. You know, certainly an each way chance.
Yeah, heavy back to dries, sort of dryish.
Yeah, well, I think that was a grueling run for a horse having its debut, and it's had. What I like is it's had 34 days to get over it. So I'm saying that the form out of the race has been no good because all those other horses have run too soon.
Yep.
I'm hoping that's the case and he can do something at big odds for us.
Nice little edge. Okay, well there's something to work with there. We've mentioned if you're in Probit Alive, you also got your own set. The interim set will be online tonight.
It will be. So we're ready to go.
You're just being spell checked now.
It'll be emailed to you as we speak.
All right. Well, Darren's set, $55 for the day. You can grab that on the One to Follow website. Race 7. Now this is a nice little race, I suppose. Gregor's well supported, $3 into 240. Eclair Choice from South Australia, $440. Fast Cash and Il Cavallo on the next line.
Yeah, well look, we had a couple of these sort of races last week where,
Yeah.
where there was a horse with dominant form.
Yeah, Vézelay was one.
Vézelay and Petit Filou.
Yeah.
Grego's is not quite the same because she's not going to lead and just sort of, you know. However, the $3 in the early markets was particularly generous. I mean, she has just got dominant form at 1,000 metres over this field.
Yeah.
And the dangers, or not, they're not, I don't even say danger, the horses that have got the talent to beat her are not 1,000 metre horses. So
Yep.
they need something to go wrong for her to beat her. So
It's a real specialist distance, isn't it?
Yeah, so the only horses with the talent are Fast Cash and maybe the Clear Choice, but they're not 1,000 metre horses.
Right.
The 1,000 metre horses here are the poxy ones that come through that race, won by Anaquasi,
Yes.
and that form. I mean, I took a long handle to it, and then went to the market, and the market took just the same, had the same opinion as me. It's just complete garbage, and those horses are no good.
Yep. Okay. Let's move on from that one. Let's move into the 8th. Horse that did pop over to Sydney, Kenjuwood, is 320. 480 for Basso, who's also an old mate of ours. Horse that we love, Volunteers, is 11, spec'd into 9s, and I can see $11 Foundry on the next line.
Interesting race. A few resumers here at the 1,500, and
Yep.
form coming from different angles.
Okay.
So we warned the punters about a Basso.
We did.
He found 2 races to win where he got the perfect run.
Yep.
A lot went right for him, and then as soon as he found a race where he was a fairly short favourite,
Yeah.
and things didn't go right for him,
Yeah.
he showed his true colours.
That's right. From looking back, I think Basso in Sydney had a lot of midweek form, whereas By the Grace, who we were keen on, had the Amavatio form, and it was a bit of a Saturday runner. So we saddled up there, and Basso was ran as we thought he would.
Yeah, it was a race I hated because I sort of he ended up with a Basso on top, but I just wasn't betting.
Yeah.
Backing that horse's favourite. He's way too short again here.
Yep.
I'll be surprised if he doesn't run double figures
Okay.
in a race where there's a lot of other substance. He just looks like he's the weak link to me.
Yep.
So first of all, you got to deal with Kenjuwood.
We do. So he got the cash in Sydney on a heavy 9 in the right part of the track, and sort of dominant, I suppose, though.
He was. He was. It was a solid race.
Yeah, Pajaro is no.
And
he's a good,
despite-
genuine Saturday horse, Pajaro.
Yep. I mean, I'm saying it's a solid race. They ran really good overall figures. That's
Yeah,
what
right.
I'm saying.
He's always been a horse. I know the RSPs have rated him quite highly on his when he's on his money.
Yeah, no, he's a consistent 5 length above benchmark sort of
okay.
horse, or more, 7 lengths above benchmark.
Yep.
From Vince's stuff. He's had a freshen up, but he's done that Peter Moonee in the past with this horse a number of times, and it works. So
Yeah.
he's very likely to set a mark here that's going to be very hard for these other horses to beat. So he's the favourite. He's the right horse to be favourite here, because he just. I'm getting the feeling that there's going to be people keen to lay him here. It just feels like in the early movements in the market that he could get out to quite a good price, but I can't find a reason why he won't. He's not the horse to beat, so it'll be the market with him will be interesting, and they're going to have to beat him, I think. The other horse that's really interesting here is, I think he's a 9-year-old. Is he Lord of Brazil?
Lord of Brazil.
Honestly, I do the form for these horses, and I just don't.
He is 9. Yep.
I have trouble getting my head around it, but Darren Weir does it so often. You've just got to respect it. He's had 4 warm-up runs, 4 or 5, whatever he's had, and he's been improving each one. And the blinkers go on here; they're fair income. He was the first horse backed, and he will run a good race.
Right.
There's just too many signs that there's intent here, and he's capable.
On the he's been on the treadmills or whatever they've got back in the Weir stable.
It's game time for him.
Okay.
So this will be as good as he can do. Volunteers has to get a Guernsey again, just because he's the only 4-year-old in the race. That 4-year-old form's powerful this time of year. It's not a easy map for him. so he's going to need a good ride, but he'll run a good race.
Okay.
I'm not interested in the 2 Williams horses, whatever the trainer, what's the trainer called? I don't want to offend anyone.
Which one?
Foundry, Robert Hickmont horses.
Oh, right, yeah, of course.
I mean, it's not the Lloyd Williams horses, they're the Robert Hickmont trained horses.
Yep.
They're capable, but I think they're looking to be 3rd or 4th up horses, not fresh horses.
Okay.
Al Moon Quith is a complete query runner. I couldn't find anything to assess him on, but he's got some interesting looking form there from Dubai. So
sure does, and yeah, that's what Maidan. He's won over the mile. I can just see. Yeah, right. Interesting one.
Yeah, that's. How do you line it up? I can't, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting race. And the other one I just wanted to mention is Let Me Down Gently. She's a mare. Her first up run was outstanding at 100 to 1. It really was.
The Nimini Pimini race, yeah.
She has got wins in her. Like, the trainer's just got to get her right. She's not well placed in this race.
Okay.
But she's not well placed if they were hoping to win, right? She could fluke it, I suppose, but it's racing, you never know. But this will be a run that puts her in really good position 3rd up.
Okay.
Back against the mares. Find a mares race for a 3rd up.
Yep.
1600, something like that. She will be a betting proposition.
Okay. Was a little something to add to the black book for the punters at home. The last race, it's been doing our heads in, I think, a bit in Melbourne. 2,500 metres. It's $6 a field. Raining at first sight. Careening. The Crafty Cruiser, West South West. Sir Laszlo.
Honestly, what are they? Why? Like August 1. This was the last race of the day, and it just turn what should have been a pretty solid day. I was left the track with a fairly sour taste in my mouth after watching Crafty Cruiser knock me off again.
Yeah.
Because he's a bit of a marvel. I never find him. I mark him 16 or 20 to 1 every start, and he wins about every 7th start. Knocks me off, so I don't know what to do with him. Anyway, look, when I started doing this form for this race, first thing, my initial thoughts were, I won't be betting here. I'm sick of this.
Yep.
Just giving away units. But then I do the form, and something occurs to me, and I just can't help myself. So, like, if I find a little edge, and my prices say, there's something here, I sort of feel compelled to, on a very small level, have something on. So that race that we're talking about on August 1, I think is a poxy race. Okay. Crafty Cruiser won it. They didn't go particularly hard, and Chris's 2 horses that were the favourites, Raining and Sir Mako, who reappear here. I don't think either of them are 1.5 mile horses.
No.
Which I think gives that race up. There are a number of other horses that ran too well in it, so I'm just going to put a pen through all the horses that ran in that race.
Okay, there's one.
Fuck them, I say. They'll probably knock me off again here. So that leaves me with that first sight. Who's a what? How old's he?
He's 9.
He's 9. Well. Big day for the 9-year-olds.
Yeah.
He's a 9-year-old and he hasn't won this decade. It was last decade when he last posted a win. But here he is. He's on the 7-day back up. He ran really well last week.
Yeah, he looked the winner, didn't he?
And he's got different form in a race that's just crying out for different form. So, geez, just get the job done, old boy.
D Lane, D Weir, different form.
Different form, yes.
Okay.
Something, please. So we've got to have something on him.
Okay, something on him.
Again, here's a horse that I have never found in his career. The horse is called Sir Laszlo. He's had how many runs, Matt?
He's had 23 career starts.
23. Well, at start 24 is the first time I'm going to find him.
Is he an old Beg horse or something?
He's a Sydney horse. I don't know if Graham Beck had him, but it could have. It was definitely
Laszlo or Walter or someone. Yeah,
might have even been John O'Shea.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyway, Sir Laszlo is he was a pretty slow horse, but Darren Weir's got on him and worked his worked his way with him, and he's been slowly getting there.
Magic.
Yeah, well, it's not magic. You know, Darren, he's different. You know, he's a different trainer. He does different things. So
yeah,
exactly.
We don't want to get in trouble.
No, I'm not saying anything because I don't know. It's like, as a punter in these type of situations, you don't know. You don't know anything. You're sort of trying to read the tea leaves. And Darren Weir gets horses from other trainers, and after he's got them, they're different. Okay, some will go backwards.
Yep.
So they're just different. He can do something to them.
Yep.
He does something with them that makes them. You have to reassess them once they get to him. I mean, look at that horse, Diamond Valorias. He got off the Snowdens last week at Sandown. Like, that horse would never have been able to keep up, 1,300 metre race in Sydney. All of a sudden, there it was sitting midfield and travelling on the bit. So he's able to get these horses to just travel differently.
It's a genuine art form, and he's the best at it.
He is. So there's no use fighting it. You just go with it.
Yep.
That's what you do.
Embrace it.
So I'm going with Sir Laszlo here to be an interesting runner. He gets, as I said, Darren Weir's brought him along slowly. He gets the blinkers on, and he looks a very likely candidate to me.
Okay.
To run a good race. And just a little bit of a mention to Cuban Fighter, who managed to find a win in Adelaide last week, and he's on the back up. So that's a sort of recipe that could work here.
Yep. I think so.
Pretty slow finish to the day.
It is, but it's look, you've definitely thrown up some angles there anyway.
I would think our recreational punters would be quite upset because the Moonee Valley Racing Club have managed here to put a 2,500 metre race and a 3-year-old race with a first starter in it as legs of the quaddie. I don't know if that's on a card where there were better races. He could have had 4 better races in to make up the legs of the quaddie than they've chosen. But anyway, I'm not really a quaddie punter, so it's not something that troubles me, but I looked at it and thought I'm sure the punters will be a bit perplexed by that, and they find it hard. Moonee Valley has trouble generating the same sort of turnover that Flemington does and Caulfield does as it is. Okay. Anyway.
Well, there we go. There's free advice from Darren Potter.
Yep. And the last thing I want to say about our dramas last week, hopefully we haven't caused any more this week, is that we, I didn't think anyone watched. But people obviously watch, so I'm glad they're watching. Yeah. And those that are getting something out of it, keep watching, please.
Yeah, please do. Darren, thanks again. Don't forget our special offer on the Probit Alive service this week with a $20 product or more. And your stuff is going to be online tonight.
Will be,
so
shortly.
Grab it right now.
Come in the Probit Alive on Saturday, and hopefully we can get a good solid winning day for everyone. We've been getting a lot of those lately, and there's no reason to think we won't be getting another one this week.
Sounds good. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Matt.
See ya.